going on, everybody? Big Country here. Welcome back to Country Living and another review. And for starters, right now we're pushing for 2K. Pushing for 2K. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe. I want to hit 2K before March 1st, which is the 1-year anniversary of this channel. We got about 200 to go. Once that happens, once I reach 2K, I will make a video of the announcement of what prizes are being given away and how to enter. So if you're not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. And also today, February 8th, 2018, Thursday, the day you're watching this or the day this video went live, is my 1-year vape anniversary. That's right, if you follow my Instagram, you'll notice there's a date in my bio. 2/8/17. That was my quit date. That was the last day that I had a cigarette. I started vaping about a few days before that. Once I finished that current pack of cigarettes off, I went ahead and full-time vaping. So, 1 year without a cigarette, 1 year without a stinky, 1 year without a cancer stick. Great. It's fucking awesome. I mean, it's been a year, man. I mean, that's a lot. That's a commitment, right? When you're ready to quit, you just know you're ready to quit. You just quit. You find what helps you. Cigarette, the patches didn't help me. The lozenges didn't help me. Even the pills, they didn't help me. Cold turkey definitely didn't help me. But when I got to vaping, vaping saved my life, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Anyway, enough of that. What we're looking at today, we're going to be looking at the iconic RDA from Mike Vapes and Vandy Vape. Alright guys, this is the packaging that the iconic RDA comes in from Vandy Vape and Mike Vapes. I like the new way of packaging for Vandy Vape. I like the clear case and just the whole presentation much better than the blue boxes that they started with their mid last year sometime. Look around here, you have a QR code here. You can scan and follow them on Instagram. The top says iconic RDA and the bottom as well says iconic RDA. And on the back, it does have a little phrase here if you want to learn more about the products. You go to vandyvape.com, blah, blah, blah. And the kit contents, it does contain 1 iconic RDA, 1 user manual, 1 accessory bag, and 2 18.5mm Delrin dock tips. And of course, the scratch and sniff here for your verification to make sure it's authentic. You got a batch number and your color, which in this case is stainless steel, right below the barcode. So when you open it up, you lift this little lip right here. Boop. And here you have the 2 extra drip tips that come with it. They are the dock tip. One is a frosted clear. The other is a black Delrin. Here with the goodie bag. In here, as normal, you have a 510 drip tip adapter. You have some extra grub screws. You got a couple extra springs, a blue screwdriver, some O-rings, and this is the squonk pin that's in here. I have been using it in the squonk. If you follow my Instagram at all, you'll see my feed. It's been on the Athena this whole time. Well, most of the time. But I had when I cleaned this thing, I put the 510 pin back in it because we are going to use it on a mech today. And under the packaging here, we have a little, they're calling it a user manual. It's no longer the manual. It's like a little pamphlet kind of deal. I really wish they'd go back to the book. I like the book style better. I think it looks a lot better. I don't like this. I know it's cheaper on them to just print out a big old piece of paper and fold it, but you know, what are you gonna do? I mean, who looks at that shit anyway? I don't. And this here, what is this? A qualified certificate. Model number, checker, date. Alright, here we go. This is the iconic RDA, and you notice the drip tip that comes on it. This nice blue colored Delrin 810 drip tip, or resin 810 drip tip. I really like this drip tip. It just matches. I like blue. This color, the colors, the marbling of the different blues and the shades and all that, and the white. I really like this drip tip, so I have used this the entire time. And on the inside there, you do see the O-ring on the inside that secures the drip tip. We'll go along the side of the top cap. You have iconic on one side, and the other you have the Vandy Vape logo. Nice engraving onto here. I mean, you can feel it. It's you know, it's there. It's not like a thin thing. It goes in pretty deep. It's pretty good. And you notice the airflow. You have a side slot airflow, and you have 2 bottom slotted airflows that kind of come up like a tube from the bottom up. We'll sew that here shortly once we get to the deck, and that's on both sides. And this is not available for a single coil. You can't do a single coil on this thing. It is dual coil only. And looking at the bottom, it does say Iconic RDA with the VV, which is the date 17/10/28 was the date my device was manufactured, and the serial number is 22,817. It does say Mike Vapes and manufactured by Vape. And the peak insulator down around the positive pin. Positive pin does protrude far enough. Now you may look at it and say it doesn't protrude that far away from the negative threading, but if you look at Vape, the way they do their peak, their insulators down here, that peak insulator is completely protecting you from negative threading. So this 510 pin does protrude far enough for a hybrid device. And now that we've got the top cap off, let's look inside. This is one solid unit. There is no AFC control on the top cap. It does have some sort of conical shaping in the top. It's not super conical, but you see the little embedded edge right there. That's where it goes down. It can only go down so far. It will lock onto the top of the actual deck, so it won't go any further down because there is no base deck lip on this device. It is prevented from going any further from that little lip inside there. And here's your build deck. You can see right here where the side airflow, it's got that slanted up to where it goes in the side airflow and up onto your coil. And also the bottom coils where it kind of goes straight up in these tubes, and your coil should sit right above these two tubes right here. And when this all comes in together, you know, it matches up perfectly. Your coil right here on top of the airflow where the flavor comes in. But look at the build deck. Start with the post screws. They're big, beefy Phillips head / flathead screws. I haven't had any problems with these things at all. They're pretty beefy. They're good. Right, so let's look at the clamps here. Right now, when it's all the way down, the clamps are secure and they're all the way down. As you unscrew this, you'll notice that they raise. Now, they don't raise because the screw goes through the clamp. They raise because there is a spring on either side of this peak insulator in the middle between these two posts. There's a spring on the inside that raises this up because this screw is not attached to the clamp at all. It's not like it's screwed in. See, watch. You can see how right now that screw is not touching it at all. Screw it in a little bit. You can see the screw coming out and touching it. Screw it back out. There's no gap there. So it's the spring that's inside this little mechanism right in here that makes these clamps raise when you loosen up the screw. So when you put your coils in, you want your coils to go in beneath the clamp. That way when you screw it down, it will push the clamp down into position and secure your coils. Now this deck is pretty big. You can put massive builds. You can share these top two areas here if you wanted to. You can share the bottom two areas if you wanted to. Or if you like normal builds, you just put the one lead here in the bottom here and one lead in the top here. Totally your choice of how you want to do this. See, I'll show you again on this side. When you bring it up, the spring brings it up quite a bit. Put a lead there. And you can also put a lead here. You put one lead here and one lead there, and then vice versa on the other side. This one here, let's just scooch you up a little more. There we go. Now they're pretty well wide open. Now, like I said, that little spring in here is not a very, very super strong spring, so it's not going to lift them up evenly all the time, so you may have to manipulate it like I just did. But overall, it's a fairly easy build deck to choose from, or to build on rather. I've enjoyed the time using this. Now the one big thing I want to show you right here before that's the only thing I'm going to talk about that's bad on it, because I mean, Jesus Christ, fucking O-rings, iconic O-rings. Lord have mercy. The O-rings in this thing were just as bad, in my experience, as the original Iconic. Man, that's the reason the original Iconic didn't make any of my top lists, was because of the O-rings. But what I did is I removed this top O-ring here, and I put a smaller one in there out of the batch of O-rings that I have. I put a smaller one in there, and now when it goes in, it doesn't, it goes over that first one fine. And then the bottom one's still the original. That bottom one's pretty much what locks it into place. So I'm able to maneuver and spin with the full tension of the bottom O-ring and half the tension that was, or the restriction of the second O-ring. Both original O-rings were just too much of restriction and tolerance for me to be able to adjust the airflow the way I wanted it, or to even take the tap cap off. So that's why I removed one top O-ring. So if you're having O-ring restriction issues, try that. Take the top O-ring off and put one. Maybe you have, I'm sure you got a bunch of them lying around, or in your case from other RDAs, thinner ones or what have you, and try to replace that with a thinner one, or just take it completely off. Maybe the bottom one might be enough for you alone. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and put a build in this thing. I'm going to go ahead and put a set of Fralians in here that I just made. These are frame stapled Fralians, however you want to call it. They are 8-ply 0.3 ribbon, framed with 28 gauge and alien wrapped with 38 gauge. That's all stainless steel. I will say this now, this should wind up being a fairly low build. Don't build as I do, because I like my mechs to have low builds. This might be around 0.06, 0.07. Don't go out and try to do it just because you said, hey, don't say what country did it, so can I. But listen, you got to know your battery safety. You got to know what your equipment can and can't handle, and you just got to know, man. You got to know. But I like my mech builds to be low, and I like them to be hot. So what we want to do is I'm putting one on the top post over here, one on the bottom, one over on this side. I'm going to push them through up to the post, and I'm going to trim the other side. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the other coil. Take this back out. I mean, I could just put that coil on a coil rod and put them side by side and trim them that way, but time-wise, it's about the same, so I'm just going to do it this way. Take that one off and trim that one off. Now that they're both trimmed, put that one on the top, that one on the bottom. Squeeze them both towards the center and tighten down the screws. I'm not going to do super tight yet. I just want to get some tension on here to where they're both held into place. And then I'm going to turn it to the side so I can get a little bit of torque put on them. There's one. And there's the other. Okay, so now we want to straighten these things out. Where is my rod? There it is. Do that. Push it towards the center just a smidget. And then raise it up just a smidget. Straighten it out. I need to pull this out away from the post a little bit. About like that. Right there, I think they're even, right? Maybe this one needs to come out just a little bit. Sorry about the positioning when I'm looking at the RDA and not the camera screen. That looks about right, so let's go ahead and do another screw check. That was a little loose, okay. Let's see. Right now we're showing at 0.08. That should be right around 0.08 by the time we're done working them, so let's get them marked. I'm going to throw this onto the Captain now to get some more heat to it and get it more balanced. So now we're on the Captain at 80 watts. And look at there, I didn't even strum the coils not once today. I mean, you can do it without strumming the coils. It's not like you have to, but sometimes it works out a little faster if you go ahead and strum them. Alright, now that the coils have cooled down, they come out to a 0.07 on the Captain, which is probably, Captain's not 100% accurate. I'll put it on the DNA just to confirm, but it's probably going to be 0.08. But 0.07, 0.08 is where I like it. So that's a perfect build for me, for my mix that is. Now, and as always, the cotton that I use is the Cotton Candy Collection. I love this stuff. I'll put a link in the description if you want to go check it out. But in case I forget, it is igotcottoncandy.com or thecottoncandycollection.com. But igotcottoncandy.com will take you to the site as well. But thecottoncandycollection.com will also get you there. I love this stuff. And the juice that we're going to be using today is called Psycho Unicorn. This is from Puff Labs, which is also the makers of my favorite juice right now, Strange Fruity Liquids, fried ice cream, of course. So we're going to try this. So Psycho Unicorn is a mystical candy cream filled sponge cake. So it's a Twinkie with candy cream in the middle of it. You see the little Twinkie picture right there. And it's an 80-20 VG-PG ratio, and you can get it in the 0.3 and 6 milligram nicotines. I will have links in the description for where you can get it. Alright, there we go. We're going to be using the Iconic on the Admiral mechanical mod today, 2700. So let's go back up and finish talking about this thing. That thing hitting hard, baby. Love the way the Fralians hit, and the flavor on Fralians is, whoa, I'm off frame. And the flavor is off point. So let's just get the cotton wet again. A little drippy drip. Put my thing on there, adjust the airflow the way I like it. I like it down to 1 airflow like that. Look at that. Just wide open airflow just for you so you can hear it. Talk about clouds, baby. Cloud life legit. Sorry, I'm savoring the juice here. I've tasted it when I came in, but I haven't tasted it since. And I'm getting the candyish cream. I don't think I'm getting much sponge cake though, or Twinkie. I'm getting something here on the exhale, right here, kind of lingering on the tongue. That could be it. I mean, it's not a bad juice. It's one of my favorites, no. But I'll have all the information in the description about the unicorn, or the Psycho Unicorn from Puff Labs, in case you're interested to check it out. So let's talk about the Icon. You know, it's another good RDA. I'm not going to say great, just because of my dripping style. I'm a messy flipping dripper. Now, this is all subjective, of course. These are my opinions. This is my experience with this thing. When I first got it, I used it for dripping for a few days. And you know, some people say you can't over drip, you can't leak or whatever, but you know, you can. If it's got air going in, it's got a juice passage out. Bottom line. So if you just like to paint your coils after every hit or every 2 hits, then you should be fine at all. But if you like to have a juice well, like it's, it's advertised as a major juice well, to where you can actually have some juices in it, you don't have to paint your coils very often, then it may be a little misleading. Now, it does have a juice well, of course, but when those tubes come in like they do, it cuts off a lot of juice well. It cuts off a lot of juice well, but there could be more juice well without those tubes. I would like to have seen a adjustable side cap or adjustable airflow completely, to where you could choose either side airflow or bottom airflow. Or I don't know. See, this was inspired from the reload, what Mike Vapes said, and I did enjoy the reload. I did. Even though it was bottom airflow, but I was surprisingly surprised that I enjoyed that reload as much as I did. But flavor on this thing is pretty good. It really is. I went into squonk mode with it, and again, you can over squonk and you can come out the post, but it seemed like to me I was coming out more than I felt like I should have, or more, versus other squonking devices. I didn't feel like I was squeezing the juice out as much. Or I didn't feel like I could squeeze as much juice out in this Addy as I can like in others. Now, granted, like I said, even others with bottom airflow, it just felt like it was filling up fast and then coming out the hose faster. But after a while, you kind of tend to, it's like anything else, you got to learn what you can and can't do with it. So, but once you learn that and get through to where you don't start spilling and making a mess every time you go to either add juice or go to squonk your bottle, it's fine. Now, the things I liked about it, I love the multiple drip tips. One, especially this resin one here, I love the color of that. It's just gorgeous. And the overall looks of this thing, I mean, just look at it. I mean, it looks fucking sick. I mean, it looks badass. A great job. The machining on it is just clean. I really, really liked it. And this does got good airflow. Wide open airflow is too much for me because I like a more restricted vape, so I just cut it down to where it's about 3/4 open of the side airflow and only 1 on the bottom. And that's perfect for me. So the flavor is really, really good. It really is. Now, truth be told, I didn't want to like this thing when I went to get it. I didn't want to like it, but it's a good RDA. It just depends on what you're looking for. Now, if you're looking for something like Rabbit Stout or even Drop Stout or Bonza Stout, where you can just pour juice into and have a massive well, this is not the one for you. But if you're one who just wants an actual dripper and you don't mind dripping many times throughout the day, and paint your coils to where you don't make a mess and you're patient, then maybe this is the one for you. I think the cloud production on this thing is great when you have a wide open airflow. When you get the right build and right coils in there, maybe a cloud competition, this could be it. Maybe this could be your competition deck or your competition Addy. Who knows? But overall, it's just another good RDA. We've been blessed with so many great great RDAs over the past 8 months or so. When it comes to the Bonza, which is my top, the Goon 1.5, which is a great one. I mean, I have 7 of them, and I use them. I use them all the time. I use it regularly. Even the Culverin now, the new broadside one, the Culverin, it's a good one. You got the Drop, you got the Rapture, you have it's just many, the Peerless still, even the Dead Rabbit. It's just, you got many. We as a community, we have all these options. We have many great good Addies out there. So it just depends on what you're looking for and what you want to spend. And yeah, what your style is. So that's it. That was the iconic RDA. I hope you enjoyed the video. I thank you very much for the support. We're slowly getting up to 2K. I want to hit 2K by the end of the month, which March 1st is the 1-year anniversary of this channel. And today, Thursday, the day you're watching this video, February 8th, is my 1-year vape anniversary. Today was my last day of smoking last year. If you ever look on my Instagram and you see hashtag Vapin and Livin, then you have a date, 2/8/17. That was my quit date, vape date. So February 8th, 2017, I've been 1 year off the cigarettes today. It's great. I mean, it's awesome. Thank you everybody for the support. You Patreons, you're badass. You know you are. I got something coming up special for y'all. I know I've been teasing about it. I haven't really mentioned anything on it yet. And the same way here on this channel. I got 2K on this channel. I want to do. I will announce the prize package and how to enter once we reach 2K. The goal is March 1st. March 1st. Which is coming up here in about 3 weeks. So let's see if we can't get to 2K. 200 subscribers. Can we do it? I got 160 last month. I've had months to where I've gotten 300. So let's do it. Let's get to 2K, and so I can announce the prizes, package, whatever it may be, and how to enter. So thank you very much for the support, everybody, between here and Instagram. Now, I do have a Twitter. I don't use it a whole lot, but everything I do on Instagram, I pretty much link it to Twitter, so it's like an auto feed. And my Facebook group. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, be sure to search Vapin and Livin on Facebook. There is a link in the top of the description of my social media section in the description, so go check it out and come join the group and have fun with us. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for the support. And until next video, just keep on vaping and living, baby.